Hey guys, UC here from iTradePrice. It is September 2nd, little after 10 Eastern. I know I haven't done one of these weekly videos in a while. Just my focus has been on the bot, the automated trading strategy that we've been trading for the past few weeks now and posting the results online and all that stuff. So you already know. You can check the results on the Google Sheet. Let me know if you don't have access to it. Okay, so let us get started with the weekly video. So let us start with QQQ monthly view, right? We just had a month end, September. So very nice recovery, right? Since the early 23, no bearish trend bar, like this, which would have meant there's some bears trying to push the price down, and we comfortably got above this resistance here, and now 2 months of bottom wicks and just sort of consolidation here. Above that we have the all-time high around 405, right? So we just need to break this level around 385 and then 390, and then 400 plus becomes the target here on the monthly level. From the support perspective, let's drill down to a weekly view. So we got this nice uptrend line, and once we broke out of this sort of pattern right here, this was the breakout bar, right? Since then, this has been the highest close, right, in the weekly time frame. So we kind of dumped back down, held this support area. Had we broken down, then definitely this would have been the next level to test. So we nicely sort of made a little bit of reversal here, right? And now we are kind of closed above the downtrend line as well. Here's the daily view, right? We managed to close above that, so that looks nice. So the now multiple scenarios could be, if we get weakness, right, we could be retesting this downtrend line and then go back up, or if you see, this was the resistance on the way up, and once we broke above that, this becomes our breakout bar. That's the low end of the bar after the breakout bar. This is the one before that. So this whole area is sort of a big fair value gap, right, from the ICT concept, that this becomes your sort of an area where the price can come and then bounce from there. So that can also maybe give us this uptrend line can also be, but again, that's if the price gets there. Right now, as long as we're above 375, I think structure remains okay. But if I bring the levels here, you can see, so these are lower time frame levels, and that's the downtrend line that we broke out of, right? Then we retested that level, this 376 one, right? And on Friday and both on Thursday, we bounced from there. The Thursday bounce took us all the way up. Probably sellers came in heavy here, projected the price down, and now we're kind of just consolidating towards the low end of the Friday and Thursday range, right? As long as we're below 379, it remains a little bit weak. Between 378 and 379, it's sort of neutral. Above that, we can try to take out 381 again, or if we fail, this becomes the retest scenario if we give up 376 here. Okay, let's check out SPY. I like to start with the monthly view, pretty much similar to Q's, right, but a little relatively weaker name, I think, compared to the technology sector, right? Because in Q's you're already above this resistance, right? But in SPY we have not been able to break above this 460 area. So let's see what happens. But on a monthly view, we have this bottom wick, established some support zone here under 440. So that looks nice. In the weekly time frame, we broke the downtrend, this little downtrend that had been going on, right? Lower lows, lower highs. We had an inside week 2 weeks ago, and then reversal bar, right? So reversal bullish bar, right? We did not see a continuation move down towards 430 support. Instead, we saw a reversal move back to the upside. Okay, that's the weekly view. In a daily chart, we are in a nice little uptrend again, higher highs, higher lows, and no follow through to the bearish bars, right? If you see, all these bearish bars are not seeing any follow through. In fact, on Friday we did open above, with a little bit of buying pressure, but we did sort of close a little on the weaker side. But again, from structure perspective, right, this was our resistance line, right, which is now going to act as support on the way down. So 449 and above, structure remains okay for bulls. If we get below that, then definitely we can visit this area right here. Okay, let's check out Apple monthly view. I think there's some event coming up for Apple, so could be that's why we saw a nice rally to the upside this past week or week and a half. Bottom wick now, right? So actually a good area to get long was there. I was really looking for 170, but it really turned back about 170. But the thought process was right that we had this breakout bar right here, right, because it broke out of this. So this was the high of the bar, bar before the breakout bar, and this becomes the low. So this becomes your fair value gap area right here, right? So when the price comes here, it bounced back nicely up. So that's good. In the weekly view, here's the reversal, bullish reversal bar, you can say, right? We have a nice bullish trend bar, and now let's see if the event can push it back towards, everybody's saying psychological number 200, it wants to go test that. So if the crowd is behind it, definitely we can see a push back to the upside. In a daily view, some weakness, right? On Friday we didn't really rally much after the gap up, but still managed to close above Thursday high, right, with a little bit of bottom wick. That's good, I would say. Yeah, I mean, as long as we are above 187.8, I think that is the level. So yeah, 187.5, 188, as long as we're above that, it's fine, right? Because this was the resistance, or that's where the top was when the price broke down after the earnings. So we are above that. So now that's definitely your support level. If it gets back there, I'll look for a bounce. Gets above 189, we have a gap fill at 191, and then maybe 200 psychological number. All right. Okay, so here's the Tesla monthly view. Still have not been able to get above this downtrend line, but looks okay to me, right? I mean, we did see a rejection here back in July. So August was a down month, but we ended with a little bit of rally back towards the high end of the month. And now we started September, some weakness. So now if it gets back up, right, this particular bar will start looking like this, right? Because this area will become a bottom wick, and then we can see a nice push to the upside. So of course we'll have to close and get above the monthly open price for that reason. Here's the weekly view, right? So I would say 261 and above, we can push towards this higher time frame down trend line. But so far this 2-bar reversal kind of played out nicely, right? We had this push to the downside, gap up, opened 2 weeks ago, and a push back up, some balance area here, and then push back up. So now I think as long as we're above below 251, price action remains weak. Here's the daily view. Right, intraday, if you guys remember on Friday, we were like, hey, if it gets to 251, actually on 30th of August, right, on Wednesday, right, we did play the bounce from 251, couldn't really take out 261, it fell through 251 and then got weak, and now it's retesting this downtrend line, I would say. So if we get some sort of maybe a doji bar here, or something else like that over here, and then a bullish bar, that could be a reversal play, right? So kind of keep that in mind. But from ICT perspective, right, this is your sort of fair value gap area, right? So it's right there. So if it has to reverse from that concept, it really needs to get it back from this level and just kind of try to break above that. Well, we'll see what happens. Amazon monthly view, if I zoom out a little bit, it's pretty obvious where we are in terms of the structure and the resistance area, right? This was the support for the long time. We broke down, retested that level, and then we broke down back again, got the support area from here, rallied back up, and now we're kind of finding some resistance here. So still haven't made it all the way up towards 146, sorry. So that is more of a resistance zone, but it looks like it does want to go there, right? We really need to get above this downtrend line in the weekly time frame. But as you can see, the weekly red bars are not seeing any heavy downside follow through at all, right? Yeah, so this was the first one, right? A little bit of follow through, but still above this particular heavy looking bar, right? Still above the half point of 3 weeks worth of consolidation, this uptrend line. So I think it looks prime. So if it gets back down, stays above this one, or maybe the half point of this previous week, we can see a breakout finally. Or if it wants to grow weak, I really need to see it give up this 135.6 area, right? So if I bring the levels, yeah, there you go. So 135.7, right? So here is the fair value gap area. So if it gets back down here, I would definitely look for a bounce play. So because my stop loss would be tight, if it gets back under 135.7, all bets are off. That means this was a failed breakout, right? But if it gets back up, look for 141 to 143 as your target areas. Here is Google monthly view. I think it looks better in a weekly view because that's what we have been basing our trade on, right? I have next year, I think June or September's calls. So that is 135C. So I'm kind of nicely in the money now. Yeah, so I've been kind of buying those things, all the way here when it was trading about 126, because you can see it was really nicely holding this area above 126. So that kind of gave me nice feeling that even if this breakout, after the breakout bar, right, this becomes your weekly bar. This weekly bar was down bar was not showing any downside follow through. It was maintaining the structure above 126, right? And then once we broke out of that, we're nicely now kind of trying to build the price level towards 143. So I would say as long as above your 130, that's great. And it's, again, it was a value area play as well, right? You can nicely see this was your FVG area, right? Because breakout bar, the high of the bar before the breakout bar, and the low of the bar after the breakout bar. So this becomes your, and that's exactly where the price came in, consolidated for 3 weeks, and then gave us a nice, almost a $8-9 move. So in the money calls would have done really nice, or out of the money as well, but depending on what strike and expiration you had. Let's take a look at Netflix weekly view. I'd say it's a little bit of range bound. It's not really running right now the way it was here back in May, June, July time frame, right? So we are in sort of a flag mode, right? So we'll see if it gets above that. We can definitely see a price action break out this 460 level, right? That was the support for some time. We broke down, retested that level. So we retested that level right here as well in maybe mid-July time frame, and now we're kind of maintaining the structure above this resistance, which acted as support right here. So if we get above that, I think 527 can be in the cards, but really need to break out with some volume. Otherwise, if it goes back down, then look for this channel, this channel's trend line as your possible downside target. Okay, Microsoft. So check out a monthly view. Again, nice monthly view, of course. But again, it got rejected from its sort of all-time high at 351 and above, 350 and above. Top quick, move back down. But again, very nice FVG play. If anybody got long in this area right here, under 320, towards 312. Got a nice bounce from there. Let's get into a weekly view. So it's consolidating here in this range and maintaining the structure above 312, right? That was the resistance. That was the resistance. We broke out above that. We retested that, and now we're coming back up. So 333 or 338 is the top next level. If we can get above that, 351, right? If we get below 321, we can have a retest of 312, and definitely if we give up that, this is the area we broke out of. So that becomes your downside target if it gives up 312. But you know, that's a sort of a weekly level play. In a daily view, here's your view. So I don't see any active sequence of buyers right now. It still looks like it is a little weak, and right, you know, not seeing any upside pushes once the buyers show up. Nothing really exciting, right? This bar is still sort of dominating the price structure here, so not really, I would say, tradable in terms of you know, a clear view of what it wants to do. So I've been avoiding this name, but you know, we'll see once it gets some clarity or gets going above 333. Okay, so that's the level that you, and if you look at this 3-day balance here, right, we had this bottom around 327. If it gives up that, there could be a lot of stops sitting here, which can, you know, trigger some selling towards the low end. So keep that in your mind. All right, guys, have a good rest of your long weekend. If you have any questions, thoughts, let me know. Just you can email me or just drop me a message. Take care and have a good rest of your night.